This is it, the new Scania 770 horsepower V8, the most powerful production truck on the road in Australia today. And we've got one for a couple of days of driving in and around Melbourne, and I can't wait. The 770 V8 is one of 3 new V8s that will be rolled out over the next year or so. The other two are 590 horsepower and 660 horsepower. All 3 are claimed to not only have more power than their predecessors, but better fuel economy as well. Scania tells us that this 770 has 2% better fuel economy than the previous 730 horsepower V8. Today we're loaded to 62 tonnes and we're heading out to send this truck up some hills out of Melbourne. The 16.4 litre 90 degree V8 makes its maximum power of 770 horsepower at 1900 RPM, and it's thumping 3700 Newton metres of torque between 1000 and 1450 RPM. The power drives through Scania's 14-speed OptiCruise transmission, which features that wonderful retarder that I'm always banging on about. You come up to some little rises like this, small hills, the truck will just drop down to 11th gear. Well, in fact, it didn't even do that on that one, and just fall up, with hardly dropping any momentum. As with all the Scania models, it's really nice and quiet in the cab. You can just hear the burble of the V8, and it's a really nice place to be. You can have a quiet conversation with your co-driver. Scania's introduced a new electric power steering system, which is just fantastic. As most electric systems are, it's speed sensitive, so that when you're going faster it gives you a little bit more feel. But it's just so precise, and that, mated with the airbag front suspension, makes this truck a real pleasure to handle. Ergonomically, these trucks are terrific. All of this generation of Scanias basically have the same layout, so that if you've got a fleet of different trucks, the drivers can swap from one to the other. And for me it's great because I've driven quite a few Scanias. Jump in them, everything's just there as it was in the last one you drove. Of course, you've got all the mod cons, you've got all the safety features, you've got the radar cruise control, you've got the downhill control. We're just cruising along here, 100 kilometres an hour at just a smidge over 1250 RPM. It's a beautiful ride. You wouldn't know you had 62 tonnes on the back. Externally, the cab is the same as the 730, except for the badging and, in this truck's case, the graphics on the side, which gives a real impression that this is a 770. So there it is, the Scania 770. It's powerful, it's smooth, and it's cool. And if I was doing some big long miles with some heavy loads, I wouldn't mind at all if you put me in one of these.